Hi, thank you for joining us and welcome to our video about Selwerd. We would like to give you all a tour through this neighborhood, located at the most northwestern part of Groningen, in the appropriately named district Noordwest or Northwest. It is really close to the Jarne campus as well. The construction of this neighborhood started in 1965, with some additions built in the latter half of the 1990s. With around 8,000 citizens as of 2022, Selwerd, together with Paddepoel, is one of the largest neighborhoods in the district. In this video we will tell you all about the history, some demographical statistics and a few other interesting bits and pieces.
The history of Selwerd. Selwerd has been around for a long time. It first started out as a very small piece of land outside of Groningen. It was governed by the Bishop of Utrecht. On this piece of land was a small castle and a monastery that stood there till 1558. Between the 17th and 19th century not much happened in Selwerd. At the start of the 20th century, het Versterkborgkanaal was dug straight through the place where the old monastery was located. This took place in 1934, just a couple of years before World War II started. In 1965 the first houses in Selwerd were built and a small shopping center was added so people didn't have to leave their neighborhood for groceries. Selwerd used to fall under the municipality of Noordrijk, but beyond 1969 it was part of the municipality of Groningen. At the end of the 60s student flats were being built. Later, halfway through the 90s, a couple of more housing blocks were built.
Selwerd currently has a population of 5,900. Most of the population is between 15 and 25 years old. The second largest group is 25 to 45 years old. 38% of the population has a migration background. Of this 38%, 15% has a Western migration background and 23% has a non-Western migration background. The income in Selwerd is pretty low. The average is as 17,500 a year. We compare this to the neighborhood Noordwest, which is 19,700, and Paddepoel, which is 20,400. The average in the Netherlands as a whole is 36,500.
Most streets in Selwerd are actually named after trees that are lining the streets. Examples for this are Esdoornlaan or Lijsterbestlaan. And there are a lot of plans to improve those streets and the neighborhood itself. Those renewals are combined with construction of big heat pipes to minimize the inconvenience for citizens. The design of the streets is planned together with the community, and the connection is built via the Wijkbedrijf Selwerd. It's a community center which is located in an old school building. On the right hand side you can see an example for the renewing of the Esdoornlaan. For example, more trees and green spaces are planned to drain the rainwater better. In the top left you can see Selwerd's parks and green spaces at the current state. It is surrounded by greenery but is poorly connected to it, and the greenery in the district is also fragmented. There are plans to put more water and especially greenery into the district, and you can see that on the right hand side.
The neighborhood of Selwerd has had more and more trouble with criminality and a lack of social cohesion in the last decades. This has caused the livelihood to go downhill. Selwerd used to be a really nice neighborhood, now it has really deteriorated, says one of the residents. Road safety, domestic violence and mental health are just a couple of the dilemmas this neighborhood faces. One of the biggest problems is the nuisance created by youth. They hang around outside and partake in criminal activities like damaging cars, windows, dealing drugs and even physical violence towards each other and other residents. This causes a lot of mainly elderly people living in Selwerd to feel unsafe when walking through their street. The increase in nuisances and criminality has been a concern for some years now, but recently there have been a lot of projects to improve the livelihood of the neighborhood. For example, they set up a project called Sunny Selwerd to improve the health and well-being of the community. Over the course of a decade, this project wants to better the general well-being, make housing more affordable and sustainable, and revamp their public spaces to make them safer and greener, all while being in constant talks with the residents. The hope is that with this plan and the strategy to really involve the residents through consultation, they can actually make a difference and get the neighborhood back to what it once was.
Selwerd is a neighborhood which offers many services to its citizens. In a matter of minutes, you can reach the General Practitioner's Building, the Supermarket of Al-Noor, an elementary school, a sports center, and many more. But during the time our group was looking around the neighborhood, one particular service caught my eyes, and that was the bird taxi. It is a taxi service which caters to the elderly people who are majority in this particular neighborhood and are often left out in activities. The service is provided for those who can find it hard to walk even if it's 100 meters away, and they have to pay a very low price of €2. This idea started 5 years ago, and with the power of the community, this taxi service has come into reality and is evidence that big ambitions start small.